This is the best routine for length retention. This routine helped me grow my hair from my shoulders to my waist in just 3 years. And although I've been like natural for a really long time, I didn't really start seeing results until I started using this routine. And I've been using this routine since like 2019, so it's been pretty much the same. I just want to say, if you're someone who's been struggling to, grow their hair or retain length, whether you're shoulder length, chin length, bra strap length, it is achievable to have really long hair as a Black woman, whether it's relaxed or natural. The first and probably the most important step is detangling your hair before you shampoo. So first I section off my hair into 6 sections, and I just use these clips to prevent the twists from unraveling. I start off with a bonding treatment, so I go in with Olaplex number 0 and then number 3. First, I spray each section of hair with the number 0. I make sure the section is damp enough before I then go in with number 3. And then once my hair is saturated with those products, I start detangling from the tips of my hair to the roots, bringing all those tangles down, making sure I'm not ripping through my hair. This is an important part of length retention, so you want to make sure you're being very gentle when you're detangling your hair, because that's like where the most breakage happens. So, less breakage equals to more length retention. That's what I always say. So I leave that in my hair for about 10 minutes under a shower cap, and then I wet my hair, like drench my hair with water. And this is just to, wet my hair enough for shampoo. So then I go in with shampoo, and I'm not really too specific about which shampoo I use, but this time around I'm going in with Care's moisturizing shampoo, and it's nice. I like it. So I just go in and I apply it to my roots first, and I work it all the way down to my ends. And I know some people are like, no, you shouldn't wash your ends because you shouldn't shampoo your ends because they'll get dry, but I personally don't believe that. I think, especially like with natural hair, we use really heavy products. It's important to rinse and like wash those products out thoroughly, because you don't want your hair coated with thick products, because that's when it's going to start getting dry and brittle, and then your products won't work for you. So I make sure I shampoo my hair thoroughly. I scrub my scalp with the pads of my fingers. I don't scratch my scalp with my nails, and then I massage the rest of my hair. I do unravel each twist in the shower when I'm rinsing out, and I hold my ends taut while I'm like shampooing and while I'm rinsing the hair. And then once it's rinsed out, I twist it back up and clip the ends again. I do this to prevent my hair from getting like tangled again, because that's why I detangle prior, because it makes my wash days so much easier. So I just make sure I'm always holding my ends taut, and I'm working in like the twisted sections that I have. My hair looks so healthy after shampooing all that product out, and it feels so nice and smooth. And the next step is deep conditioning, and this is one of my favorite deep conditioners. Is the Intensive Hydration Mask from Shea Moisture, and it's from their Manuka Honey hairline. It's so moisturizing. I love it so much. I thoroughly apply the product from my root to my tips, and I massage it in. I usually don't detangle at this step. Sometimes I do if I feel like my hair is feeling tangled again, but here I didn't, because my hair felt fine. So I just massage that product through, and I make sure that it's fully saturated with it from root to tip. So that's very important, to make sure throughout the hair strand is fully covered with the product. And then I twist it back up. The key here is working in sections. This reduces tangles. Less tangles means less detangling, which means less breakage. So that's the key here. It's making sure you're breaking your hair less. That's how you retain length. And this routine is so simple. I wash my hair like 2 to 3 times a week. It's been more like 3 weeks lately, because I've just been really busy and I've been putting it off an extra week. But it's a really easy and simple routine to follow. When I'm done, I put a shower cap on, and then I go about doing chores for like 30 minutes to an hour. I rinse it out, and my hair feels even softer. Like, it feels so good. I don't know if you can see, but it's shiny a bit. My hair normally doesn't shine, but my hair feels really, really good. After the Olaplex treatment, the shampoo, the deep conditioning, the next step is just styling. And I normally do like medium-sized braids. Sometimes I go a little smaller, like medium small braids, but I never braid my hair really small myself. But here I'm just sectioning off each section so that the parts are pretty neat. I'm not the best part because I can't like see the back of my head and it's hard sometimes, but I try to get like a neat, decent part. I split each section in about 2. Some of them I split them in 3 if they're really big. Then I go in with one of my favorite moisturizers from Camila Rose, the Curl Love. It's so moisturizing. Like, I have very dry hair and it's very hard for me to find products that are moisturizing, and when I do, they stay in my like hair collection forever. Like, this is one of the products I'm gonna have to buy forever because there's literally, I mean, there are other products I love, but I really love this one. Like, it's pretty up there. It's like in my top 3, I'd say. And I just detangle. I start from my tips to my roots, and if you look closely, you'll see I'm not brushing from my roots to my tips throughout. I'm kind of like pushing the tangles down slowly, gradually, and then once they're down, I detangle from the tips. So I start from the tips and then I go up and I start pushing those tangles down, and then I brush them out slowly without nagging through, like without ripping through any tangles. I try my best not to. And then once I'm done with that, I go in with Honey Hydrate. Honey Hydrate is my favorite hair product of all time. It's my number 1. I don't think anything will ever replace it. And the day something does replace it, I'll let you guys know. But for now, Honey Hydrate is my favorite hair product. It's so moisturizing. And it's the one product that makes my hair stay moisturized for over like a week, I'd say. If you're struggling with dry hair, I would highly suggest you get this product. Everything is linked in the description box below. And also, like with my twists, because I think I'm doing twists here, I start them off as braids. So I split each section in 2, and then I split one section in 2. So I have 3 parts, and I start it off as a braid. And then as I'm braiding, I combine the 2 smaller sections into one and I form a twist. So as I'm twisting, look closely, I'm like wrapping it around my finger. So I'm twisting and I'm wrapping it around my finger to keep the twist neat and taut, because I don't want it to be puffy. I want it to be like a little tight so that it doesn't get puffy, because when it gets puffy, it gets really, it gets frizzy. It gets frizzy fast, and I don't like that. And then at the tips of my hair, I apply the Camila Rose Curl Maker, and I apply this to the tips strictly because it clumps my coils together. It prevents my ends from getting frizzy, and it prevents my ends from getting tangled. So, and it also keeps it moisturized. It's a game changer. Like, keeping my hair moisturized, keeping my coils clumped together is what prevents and reduces tangles and unnecessary breakage and single strand knots. It really does reduce them, because if your coils are clumped together, they're less likely to turn in on themselves and form a single strand knot. So here I'm repeating that again. I'm going in with the Curl Love. I massage it through and I detangle the section from my tips to my roots, pushing the tangles down slowly, not ripping through them. And then once I'm done with that, I apply Honey Hydrate and I massage that through, and I detangle. If I need to detangle again, I'll go in and like detangle a little bit more, because I want it to be smooth so that the twist stays like smooth for a long time, so it won't get frizzy fast. After detangling, that's when I go in and I start, splitting sections and braiding and then twisting. But yeah, you really, really want to just take your time. And this routine is so simple. Like, this is all it takes. And then you leave your hair for 10 days and you just moisturize when you need to. Like, this is all it takes. And if the twists are too big for you, you can always go smaller, or you can do braids, or you can do, I don't know what other, forms of protective styling there are, but any style that like tucks your hair away, that's easy to put in and easy to take out, is amazing for your hair. Like, it'll help you retain length so easy, because I literally do this and I don't touch my hair for like 10 days. Unless for some reason my hair is dry again. Sometimes I need to moisturize more often during the winter because the air is just so dry. But literally for like 10 days my hair is good. I start off with a braid and I turn that braid into a twist. That's what I do. And as I'm twisting, I'm like wrapping it around my finger so that it stays like nice and tight and smooth, but not too tight because you don't want to damage the hair. But yeah, I twist and I'm like twisting around my finger as I'm twisting to keep the hair nice and smooth, keeping the strands nice and smooth. And then when I get towards the end, I apply the Camila Rose Curl Maker, And once it's on, I twist, and this really just keeps, like I said, it just keeps my ends nice and moisturized and clumped and coiled, and it prevents single strand knots. Well, it reduces single strand knots, and it reduces frizziness and tangles. I'm just gonna let you guys watch me do the rest of my hair sped up. If you have any questions, please do leave them down in the description box below. I'll be sure to answer them. But honestly, again, this routine is super easy. I love doing medium-sized braids and twists because they're so easy to put in and take out. Minimal breakage. That's why I like doing it. I only do really small braids when my hair is like blown out or straightened for like a trim. That's when I'll go ahead and do like small braids or twists, because I don't do them myself. I have somebody like do that for me, but I don't like it when people handle my hair when it's in its coily state, because I feel like they're a bit rough with it and it's hard for them to be gentle. So I know how to be gentle to my hair. If I knew how to part my own hair, I would braid it, but I just can't see the back of my head, so I can't do it. And honestly, I feel like my arms would get really tired. But yeah, that's like really the gist of it. I'm very gentle. Like, I will never shut up about this. Your hair, especially if you're like in the type 4 category, your hair is very fragile, so it's important to be gentle. Like, literally, when you're parting it, when you're detangling, when you're whatever you're doing, taking braids out, putting braids in, whoever's doing it for you, just ask them to be careful, because you might not think the breakage you're seeing is a lot, but over the course of a year, you're losing inches. That's why your hair isn't growing. That's why you think your hair isn't growing. Your hair is growing. It's just breaking off at the same rate that it's growing. And if your hair is getting shorter, it's breaking off at a faster rate than it's growing. So it's just important to be gentle, protective style, moisturize. I'd say those are like my top 3 tips. 1, be gentle. 2, moisturize. 3, protective style. Or I feel like the moisturizing and the protective styling go hand in hand. You can't do one without the other, because you won't see the results you want to. I do protein treatments every 2 to 3 months, and that made a huge difference in my hair, in terms of how well my hair stayed moisturized, and also the strength of my hair, but not in a way that made my hair brittle. It prevented my hair from breaking. It reduced a lot of breakage, and it also reduced a lot of my split ends. I noticed that. But protein is not for everybody. Well, it is for everybody, but it's for some people in moderation. So I know usually people with low porosity hair, their hair tends to react negatively to protein if it's too often. So you don't want to do protein treatments too often. And I always recommend for people, it doesn't matter your hair type, whether it's low or high porosity, before you use protein, just buy like a sample packet. They usually sell them in sample packets. Like, even the ApHog's 2-step protein treatment that I use, they sell it in a sample. You can use that on a small section of hair, see how your hair reacts. If you like the way your hair reacts to it, then you can move forward to using it on your entire head. But if you don't like it, then you shouldn't use it. Like, don't move forward. It'll make your hair brittle, or it'll make your hair break, or it'll make your hair too strong. You don't want that. So just test it out on a small sample of hair. But yeah, my hair looks amazing after twisting one side. This is how much hair I've lost so far from shedding, and this is what my hair looks like once I'm done. And I just go in with my rosemary oil from Mielle. I think that's how you say Mielle or Mielle. I think it's Mielle Organics. And I just massage my scalp. And my twists look so juicy. They look so good and so thick, and that's how I like them. And I literally just rock this hairstyle for about a week. Sometimes I retwist it if it's this, because they're so big, so they get frizzy like a week in. So I'll retwist and moisturize it like every 7 to 10 days until I wash it. And then I repeat this cycle over again. And that's it. Literally, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. If you want to see more hair content or any other content, please do subscribe and let me know down below what you want to see from me. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.